career-wise, my biggest mistake, not listening to Dave Chappelle way earlier.
And what's way earlier mean?
So when we used to do the Chappelle show, let's say 01, 02.
Okay.
When we did the warm-ups, he was like, Cipha, you're funny. You should do stand-up. And I was like, you're dumb. Why would I do stand-up? I'm a popular DJ. Then years later, I'm like, I'm going to do stand-up. You know what I mean? So I missed 7 years of stage time. Mind you, with the GOAT telling me he thinks I'm good enough to do it.
And if you would have capitalized when the Dave Chappelle show was out,
right,
more people would have known you for a stand-up at that time.
That's right.
Too.
That's right. But shortly after, he quit for 12 years.
That's true.
So, but, you know, he's a great friend and a great guy. But besides all the stuff going on in the news about him, he's a great guy. And I always feel, because I could have still did both. I could have been on the radio and been doing stand-up, because that's what I did later on, but I wish I would have did it when he said it. Even when Dave Chappelle told me that, I would get it more. I was on MTV for a while.
Yeah.
People were like, you're funny. Will Smith, you're funny, bro. You're funny. You a comedian? I'm like, no, I do radio. He's like, yeah, you funny. Like shit like that. Yeah. So, should I not say bad words?
Yeah, of course you can.
No, sorry. I apologize. I cut off the T. I was like, shit. Okay, so people would say I'm funny, so it kept hitting me. Then when I got my own show on the radio, it was called Cipha Saturdays. Bro, I was tearing it up, mixing, but I was also a radio personality. And everyone would be like, you're funny on the radio. I'm like, what about my mixes? Yeah, fine. But you're funny. I'm like, okay, this is, something's calling. The universe is telling me to do this. So I go, okay, how do I make money with this? So I just started producing a comedy show in New York. And I was
what was that called?
It was called Don't Get Gas.
Okay.
That was like my slogan. Cipha, don't get gas. Like, don't get big-headed.
Yeah.
So I was like always like, stay humble. So I called it, that's what people knew. So I called it the Don't Get Gas comedy series. I got all the funniest comedians and I got the night and it was packed from day one.
Oh yeah, because you're on the radio too. You can promote it. It's ridiculous.
I never put the comedian's name on a flyer. Yeah. Never once, because I was like, trust me.
Yep.
You trust me, you're gonna have a great time. Every rap, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Drake, when he first came out, all these rappers, Trey Songz came to my show, football players, basketball players. I don't know anything about sports, but one time, who's the Nick that came? John Starks.
Yeah.
John Starks came. People was like, ask him about the Jordan dunk. I was like,
yeah.
I'm going to say what you're saying. I have no idea what that means. So I go on stage, I go, what about that Jordan dunk? And everyone goes crazy. I'm like, thanks. Yeah. But yeah, so like I just started hosting a night. And then I wasn't even the host. I just produced it.
Yeah, of course.
And then eventually I started hosting.
Working your way in.
And then I started liking it. And then I started like trying to, like I would scribble a joke. I'm like, I'm going to try this tonight, you know? And it would work. Sometimes it wouldn't work. I try again, keep going. And then eventually I was like, I want to do this for real.
Yeah.
And then comics were like, okay, cool. This doesn't count. Because this is your audience from the radio. They love you already.
You got to go to other places.
Come down here. Woo, bombing every night. Bombing. But all the comics were like, you're going to be a good comic because you keep coming back.
That's the main thing.
You keep coming back.
What do you remember that first time you bombed and where was that at?
Bro.
Tell me about it.
Like it was like the hood rooms. You know, in comedy world, there's comedy clubs, which we're in now, the Comedy Cellar. And then there's these things called the like rooms. It's usually like a bar or like a Caribbean restaurant or something. They do like a comedy night. Bro, I went to this, like it was like a Puerto Rican bar in like a Puerto Rican neighborhood in Brooklyn. And I'm Puerto Rican and I'm known on the radio as the Puerto Rican. So I'm like, I'm about to crush. The guy puts me on last as like the headliner because I'm like famous.
You got the name. You got the name.
I didn't know back then I should have went first or second.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the experience. So the name gets you a minute of, oh, Cipha, what up? The audience loves it. And then they're like, okay, be funny. And so the comic before me is doing a whole act in Spanish. I don't even speak Spanish. Like, he's crushing. I think he did it. Now that I know how comedians are, I think he did it to like destroy me. He was crushing in Spanish. So then I go up and the stage is like, there's a restaurant and the stage is by the front door, but it's like a different front door.
It's small stage, right?
Yeah, small.
It's
like,
the size of this table.
Yeah, the size of this table. And there's a curtain, but behind the curtain is like the emergency exit. So I'm standing on there and I start doing my thing and I was bombing. And it so bad. I like looked behind me and then I just went out the emergency door. And the alarm went off and everything. Bro, I couldn't take it. It was so bad.
How long did you stay up there before you hit the eject button?
Maybe 5 minutes. Maybe,
wow. How long were you supposed to do?
15.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Bro. And then it was so bad. And the owner comes running out the other door. Hey, what are you doing? I was like, I can't do it. I'm leaving. He's like, I ain't gonna pay you. I was like, please don't pay me. Please don't pay me.